Beshem Hashem Naseh Nasliach. This morning for our limud Kolel Chasod is the dedicated for Ilui Nishmat Hacham Uriel ben Hacham Meir Davidi Alav Shalom and many other causes. Bezat Hashem we should hear Sorot Tovot and Hastacha of all Am Israel. Okay, Halbasha. We're learning from Sefer Pele Yoetz. Ma'amar Halbasha clothing. Amru Rabbanenu Zal. Our sages of blessed memory teach us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Malvish Armim. Almighty Hashem is the one who clothes those who are not dressed. Ach atem talbish armim. Right? Ata talbish armim. So that's what in the Masachet Sotah refers to, that Hashem is the one who clothes us. Tichtiv. Ve'as Hashem Elokim le'adam ve'ishto kotnot or v'ayid b'shem, that Almighty Hashem created Adam and Chava, Adam and his wife, and Hashem made them ketonet or, refers to skin and other. Of course, skin in our understanding is not just a superficial skin. Hashem made them clothing as well. Right? Later, after they did the chet of Es Hadat, right, Hashem allowed them to understand that they need to be covered. Uchtib ki tir'e arom vechisto az ivaqa kashachar orecha. So from this pasuk in Yeshaya, we learn that after Adam and Hava understood that they were arum, that they weren't dressed, then they came and they wore clothing like ivaqa kashachar orecha. I'm not sure exactly what that pasuk means. Shlomo, go ahead, tell us. It says the pasuk, the meaning there.
What part?
This pasuk, the second part, Yeshaya.
It doesn't say the same here.
It doesn't say that.
No.
Okay. So most likely, what is referring to that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, allowed Adam and Hava to cover themselves. ובאמת שהוא צורך וחיוב גדול לרחם על העניים. This is a big need. What Almighty Hashem has allowed us to have clothing, that the poor people have clothing. בעניין הלבוש יותר מן האכילה, that really for aniyim, clothing is more important than food. May we never know. Right? May Hashem give beracha atzlacha to all the Yehudim.
Amen.
Right? So, כי אכילה יוכל להיות מסתפר במועט, because when it comes to food, a person can eat something and just get away from hunger or thirst. But for clothing, you really need to have more than just a little bit. You need to have comfortable clothing. You need to have the clothing that warms you up, keeps you warm, right? And fits you. If it's too tight, the whole time it's bothering you. And if it's too loose, also you're being bothered, right? If the material is tough on your skin, right, and it's not soft, that's not also pleasant. And you could be happy with a little bit of food. A person can go out to his daily life and every second he's suffering if he doesn't have good clothing. Right? Well, a person can make 2 perutot, right, a little bit of money, and this way he can acquire himself some sort of achila, shetiya, some sort of food and drink. Or you could be the whole day hungry, but at night you get a good piece of bread, right, and you become happy, right? ואינו צריך להיות כל כך. Really, you don't have to be so much in need of people's help. לא כן לעניין הלבוש. צריך הרבה מאוד ביחד. By לבוש, by clothing is not so. You need a lot of money, right? You need to have enough money to cover all these, all the clothing that you need, all your body. And בעין יד העני משגת. And guess what? The poor is not having that sort of money that he needs. כי אפילו לאכול ולשבעו אין לו. Even though that he doesn't have food and he's not satisfied every day, ומתוך כך הולך וחסר, but he's missing. בגדיו נעשים רעים, ותלאי על גבי תלאי. And by clothing of ani could be, right, pieces of clothing that he wore them on top of each other in order to cover him, and is missing pieces. ועל שלא נשאר לו אלא חלוק אחד ולבוש מלולב וסחבות באופן שחייו אינם חיים. And he could be, right, with all these different pieces of clothing that he's putting on himself, is not a real good clothing. His life is not a life. He's suffering every second. It could be maybe he's too cold, or chas v'shalom, he's too warm with the clothing that he's wearing. וראו לבני ישראל רחמים בני רחמים שאמנו מאיהם ומלאו רחמים עליהם. And it is very befitting for Jewish nation to see into it, to have mercy for those who need clothing. והאיש אשר חננו השם עושר וכבוד כה יהיה משפטו. Now, if a person is being blessed, Hashem has bestowed upon him parnasa tova, all sorts of blessings, and things are going his way. שיעשה לעצמו לכל בני ביתו בגדים חדשים מיד חג וחג. Then he needs to look into it, to make sure that for himself and for his children, from every chag to chag, right, from every shalosh regalim, chagim, Pesach, he obtains new clothing before Pesach, before Shavuot, before Sukkot. Mikaf regel rosh, from toe to rosh, to head to toe. וייתן בלעותיו לעניים מהוגנים, ובפרט לתלמידי חכמים שצריכים לנהוג סלסול. And if you have the ability, go ahead and get clothing for poor people. Go ahead, get quality clothing for Rabbanim, for Talmidei Chachamim. Because after all, especially by Rabbanim and Talmidei Chachamim, how they dress makes a difference. If they dress in a way that is inappropriate, it could be, chas v'shalom, chilul Hashem, right? So much so that our Chachamim teach us, even if a Talmid Chacham's shirt is having stains, right? He can be punished for having stains on his shirt, because that is equivalent to being very dressed improperly in the eyes of people, and that is chilul Hashem, that is making Hashem's name not so great. ואינו לפי כבודם ללבוש בלולי הסחוד ובגדים גרועים ומטולאים צריך לרחם עליהם ביותר. Now, don't say, okay, he's an ani, I'm going to get him 100% polyester, right? Or I'm going to get him I'm going to give him my ripped shirt, right? With all the stains in the front. No, don't do that. Get them more than what they deserve, right? ובזה התחלל השיר be'oshro. And this way, a person, right, would be praised by his wealth. وما شنیره لعشیر بازو اشاسوی و بالوی اسر هانی هو خشوب ویلوی. Now that which for Ashir is not so important and so kabbalic, right? That clothing, let's say this Ashir is always wearing Gucci. You heard about Gucci? I don't know why people get Gucci. There's so much Gucci out there.
Yeah.
So much fake ones.
It's expensive.
Right? And it's supposed to be fake and top of the line, for models, they call them stars. I don't know why they are stars, right? Maybe it's better to call those people peppers. Peppers?
Peppers?
Peppers. Unfortunately, they are not a role model. These, unfortunately, these Hollywood they call them Hollywood stars.
Yeah,
Fashion. So it says, the clothing that is not so important to you is not fashion, is not brand name. You could give them to the anim. You could give them to people who need them, right? In fact, our Chachamim teach us, if a person is disrespecting clothing, right, that would be something that Hashem will punish him for that. So some people you see in the mikveh, what they do, right? They use the towels and they leave them on the ground. After you're done, pick them up. Even a towel needs to be respected. That towel makes you dry, right? You like it when it's clean and it's soft. So you use it, don't leave it on the floor. Our Chachamim teach us, Harav Eliezer ben David was very particular on this, right? You have your clothing, don't just leave them on the floor, take them out, take them.
Like you move to a new place and like your clothes are like disorganized on the floor.
Yes, it's apparently leaving clothes on the floor is disrespect to clothing.
I mean, you try, but like...
Of course you try. We have kids and we blessed with kids and all that. All the Yehudim be blessed with
clothes
kids.
out of the hamper and put them on the floor.
Right. So we need to be organized, especially in clothing. Put the clothing, on a deal with them in a respectful manner. When emet dagara ketiv behamichem et chadbo mimenu Hirshu chazal shesarich להפריש החלק מן המובחר והמשופח והיפה והכל לפי מה שהיו אדם שהרי אמרו חייך קודמין. So our Chachamim also teach us, of course you need to think about others. I provide them with clothing, but your life comes first. Firstly, what is the...
It's like is it like a considered an avera?
Huh?
Is it considered an avera actually to like put on the floor?
It's I wouldn't call it avera. It's not a good thing to leave the clothing on the floor, because that shows you don't have respect to clothing that you have, and then you don't appreciate the clothing that Hashem has given you. It's a blessing, right?
But
So
like,
it's a good thing.
You be punished for that?
Well, it says that a person would be
I mean,
would be asked. It says it would be asked, why didn't you? I don't know the exact wordings, but a person would be questioned, why didn't you
Take care of your clothes.
take care of your clothes properly? Also, when a person leaves his clothing on the floor, it causes that the clothing go bad faster. When you put it on a hanger, right? Then it adds to its life, right? It keeps it better, it keeps it more shape, right? Now, you're getting new clothing. What are you going with your old clothing? Now, there is a whole movement here in California to use people's used clothing, right? To recycle them, right? So this way, people do not trash their old clothing, and put their old clothing for others to be used. Now, the post office has a program. I think they collect food, unneeded food, once a year for poor people. And there's so much food that gets collected. Apparently, they want to do the same for clothing. Right?
They have these clothes near my house, near where.
They have these boxes, right? They have these boxes that you can put.
I don't know what they do with the clothes.
They recycle them. They give those clothing to poor people. Yes, there's so much can be done, right? Yes. אמنم טוב לגבר שידקדק אם יוכל להכיר ולידע אם המקבל דבר הוא חשוב אצלו וחביב בעיני וצריך לו ואם ירא שנתנו לעני איזה בגד מבילויי השכרות שאינם חביבים אצלו כלל לא יתרעם על העשיר ולא ידבר תועה עליו בפני אחרים כי זה גורם להיות נותן דלת בפני העשירים מליתן ואחרונים לעניים. Now, you're giving clothing to the aniyim, right? To the poor people. Don't give it to them in a disrespectful way, right? Give it to them in a way, you go to them and say, I have this extra clothing. You're not lying. I have this extra clothing. I love it so much, right? And I want to make sure that it's being used by somebody, right, who can enjoy it. Would you like to have it in a nice way? Don't just go there and say, "Here, take this," right? Here, dress.
I have some clothes for you.
Yeah, I have some clothes for you, or why don't you wear this shirt?
That's like with many tzedakah.
Yes, tzedakah with anything that the person wants to do needs to be with a lot of respect. There is a mitzvah to help someone, and there is another mitzvah to be besever panim yafot, with good, nice, pleasant way of treating someone. ודרך איש טוב שיש לו דעת נכונה ומיושבת שכל שחברו חשוב לעשות לו טובה וכנה לו איזה דבר. Also, it's much better when a person sees his friend or somebody else who's needing, and in a friendly way he deals with him. Just not just like an opportunity to do mitzvah, rather an opportunity to make another person happy. Now, if you have a clothing that is not good for you and you acquired it very expensive, right? You want to give it to someone, don't make impression this clothing is bad for me. It's bad for you. It's bad for someone else too. You like 100% wool suit, right? And you have this suit, you got it for whatever reason, and it's 100% polyester. Don't go to the needy person and say, you know what? It's not me. I can't wear polyester, right? Don't make it like that, right? And you're gonna make him feel bad. וכן הוא נתן לו מתנה דברים פתוחים, יראה לו פנים יפות, give it to them, מתנה with פנים יפות, ויחזיק לו חינות גדולות, כאילו הדבר הזה נשרח מאוד. And make it as if, right, this suit that you're giving him or this clothing that is very much, everyone is after this suit, right? Well, you shouldn't lie, obviously, but make a good impression, right? How would you deal if you get an Italian suit, right, that is 100% wool? How would you put it together? You put it on a hanger nicely, you put a cover on it, right? Make it look nice when you're giving it away, right? וחביב ונחמד ונעים כי יקטה ולא נחת רוחה ושלא ינסול דלת בפני גומר חסדים. Don't close the door right? Right after you just do the acts of kindness, or don't just ignore people who are in need of your help, right? You need to do it in a nice way, right? They say when a meshulach comes to a person, when a needy person comes and he needs help, even if you can't help, if you offer some sort of other help, right? Okay, may I give you a cup of drink? May I give you some fruits? Oh, you need a ride? Okay, I can perhaps help you with a ride. Or if you can't, get them an Uber. Many other ways that a person can help a משולח. והנה יש מקומות רבים שנהגו הלבשה לילדים בני עניים, ומלבישים אותם לחנוכה. There are certain places that they give clothing for aniyim from Chanukah to Chanukah, right before Chanukah to Chanukah. Chanukah is coming up. Look, when you open this, there's a reason. Chanukah is coming up, right? Right? Ashrehem, ma tov chelkam. Praiseworthy what they do, and they help people with new clothing, poor people with new clothing. Ki mitzvah rabba osim. They're doing a big mitzvah like this, right? אבל מי ייתן והיה לבבם ויכולתם לעשות כן גם לעניים גדולים הם ונושריהם וטפיהם. Don't just do this with little kids, right? Also think about those who are elders, those who are adults and they need clothing, right? גיבור האמינים מצווה זו לרבהי שתגן להניח ברכה והצלחה לכל מעשי ידיהם, הון ועושר ביתם, בעולם הבא יאכלו פרי צדקתם. Now a person who thinks about all the needy people, then later on in Olam Haba, he is going to eat the fruit of his labor. All the tzaddikim that he did, all the mitzvot that he did will become a source of reward for him in the world to come. הון ועושר בינתם ולעולם הבא יאכל ישאו ברכה מאת השם. And such a person is going to receive ברכה from Hashem ומאת העניים הנוממים, and from all these people that are needed, the poor people, they will bless him. They will cause him to receive lots of blessings. Kibor ba'adas ve'yeh zar'am, and his children will be giborei haaretz. Ve'henicho yitram le'oleihem. I'm not sure the last sentence. What does it say over there? Does it say?
It's not the same at all.
It's not the same at all.
Not the
So
same.
okay, also some blessings he will receive.
Here he's talking about shatnez.
That's levush.
At the end, yeah.
Halbasha. Okay, it doesn't say here. So obviously we end with this also, that our clothing, we need to make sure that they are shatnez free. Right? Thank you, Shlomo, for mentioning this. Right? What shatnez is, of course, we all know. It is prohibited from Torah to have a clothing that has mixture of linen and wool together. So it's surprising to know there are many clothings that are those clothings that have wool could have linen pieces, right, around the neck, around the sleeves, right, to make it stronger, because linen is strong. It's a strong material. So what a person needs to do, he needs to take his clothing, particularly coats, jackets, suits, right? Even sometimes have wool hats, and give it to a person who knows the materials, and they have the training to make sure that it's shatnez free. And this way, his tefillot will be accepted. Some people who do not check their clothing and they pray with the clothing that are not checked, are not shatnez free, right? That would block their tefillot. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen.